Hello, hello. Oh, I forgot to put that banner thing on. Maybe I can do that while I'm maybe. Possible. Look at that. We can. Hello, Brenda. How are you? I'm going to share because my mom taught me that sharing was caring. So that's what I'm going to do. Um, how are you doing? How is your Thursday? Hello, hello. Where is she? How's your Thursday going? Where are you from? I think I'm going to forget this time who I left off with. I didn't pay enough attention when I went down the list. Maybe it might be where I left off, or it might be just someone I remembered as I was going by. You never know. How I couldn't. So I decided to go live this afternoon. It's 1 o'clock for me. No, not right now. I moved back. Hi, Spencer. How are you? I moved back. I'm living in Alberta right now. Right? I would have to literally ask myself the same. No, I'm kidding. Um, a lot of things happened. It was quite interesting experience anyway, and family did need me, so I came back and I had some interesting experiences. And I do have plans to head somewhere warm, at least Arizona, maybe Mexico, maybe Costa Rica again. I'm very open to Costa Rica. It was lovely. And I have friends down there and stuff like that. So it would be nice to go back to Costa Rica. But I also know that wherever you do go is exactly where you're meant to be. So if I end up somewhere else, it's because I'm meant to be there. And Alberta brought me here for a very specific reason, and that's because I partnered in a nonprofit called Hugs for Homeless. And Hugs for Homeless is my passion project. I'm so happy about it. And Hugs for Homeless, we put backpacks together, which are hugs, and we fill them full of things, essentials, and we distribute them to the community. And the community being those that are affected by homelessness. And right now we're focusing on the Edmonton area, and as we grow, we will expand and we will branch out into other areas. But right now, it's Edmonton. So, so because of that, I moved to Alberta. Hi, Kita. How are you? Happy birthday to your girl. Yeah. So I'm here for a reason. This winter season is not one of them. Although, if you find a way to embrace where you are and love where you are, I might today. I'm not sure yet. I'm definitely going to do a general reading, and when I do it, I'll be pulling a card. I don't give big readings anymore. If you want something like that, and that's not really my main thing that I do. The main thing that I actually do is I help you remember your truth, the truth of who and what you are and why you incarnated here this time. And I do a lot of stuff around that. Yeah, very spiritual work. Hi, Janelle. Yes, I help you get through all those layers, right? You guys are you're all amazing. Like every single one of us. Every single one of us is amazing. We have a purpose. We have a purpose for why we decided to come here to Earth at this time, right? I mean, those that align with me must, right? Everything's a mirror. So those that are showing up here, they're reflecting something back to me. And I'm reflecting something to you. So stick around. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. I actually am more anti-political than anything, or more central running. But I just kind of believe that the current system that we're operating under is very corrupt. I believe that we are in a spiritual war. So I don't know if that aligns with, something about quit whispering liberal. It's a muted comment. Sorry, guys. I don't even know what it means. I don't even know what it means, right? Like, but anyway, me too. Every time. You have a great day. I just call it like it is. I just speak the truth. That's what I'm here to do, right? That's what we're here remembering, right? Remembering is us remembering the truth, right? We've been under, we call it the veil, and we call it the matrix, and we call it programming, and we call it a lot of things. But we definitely need to remember the truth, right? And that's what we should all be truth seekers. Right? When you see something, you should question it. Just question it. That's all you have to do. We got taught that in university. When I went to university for nursing, we were taught critical thinking. That was a part of the curriculum at that time. And they taught us to validate the research. You couldn't just accept anything at face value. You always were taught to follow the money. That's the number one thing when it comes to research, to determining what is accurate and what isn't accurate, is you have to follow the money. And that's not always easy, because they actually bury their companies, right? They have numbered companies that are owned by this other numbered company, and it's like 12 layers deep before you find out that the actual owner of it is, who it is. So anyway, we need to find the truth and then live it, right? So anyway, we know it's a show. If you're here hanging out with me, you know that it's a show. Do you want to hear something? I had a channeled message and I wrote it down, and I would like to tell you guys about it, because I sat in meditation with the sole purpose of trying to recall how we are meant to flow through our day. We were taught to question things, right? Like, I don't understand why that became such a terrible thing for, like, that's almost like, I don't know. I don't even know where to go with that. It's just, it baffles me. But yeah, we were actually taught how to think, not just what to think, right? I remember when we used to be actually a little bit creative with math, like as long as we showed how we got our answer, which sometimes, penalized children who could like think it, but not like bring it from where they thought it to write it down on paper. Some of us would have had to explain, well, I took, we were adding 7 plus 13. So I went 7 and 7 is 14. And 6 is 1 less. So 13, right? It's like, how do you explain that train of thought, maybe, is what some people get hung up on. But that's where they started taking away our freedom of expression. They took away our creativity. They took away our genius. And that's what the education system does. They've actually done studies on it, which is really quite fascinating. When they test preschool children, so children before they enter into the school system, on metrics for genius, 98% children would actually qualify as genius status because they're just naturally creative. But once they enter into the school system, it starts to drop off rapidly. And by the time your child graduates high school, there's like 2% of the population left that would actually qualify as a genius of some sort. Like, and they do it on purpose, right? So, you know. But anyway, I did this channel thing. I sat in meditation and I asked what should, like, I wanted to remember. I was trying to get either to get the vision of, or channel a message of, or however it would come through would be fine. But to receive the understanding of how we're meant to kind of flow through our day, right? If we lived the way that we're supposed to. So this is what came through. Dawn would be the opening of the flame. You would begin in silence, no scrolling, no outer voices, just breath. You would light a candle or open your palms to the rising sun, and you would speak a decree. I walk as flame made flesh. I awaken this day in full remembrance of who I am. And then you would just listen to your oversoul stream for 3 to 5 minutes. No questions, just listen, just witness, right? And that's the way that we're meant to. We're meant to commune with ourselves, right? With our oversoul. So this is not morning, it's more of an initiation every day, right? It's quite interesting. So then your morning, which is a little bit more, would be the living word and movement. So you would journal the oversoul's message, a 1 line or a page, whatever you received. You would sip crystalline water, so it would be infused with intention or a solar tonic. Right? So you create that, right, by adding salt and lemon and then putting it in the sun for about 5 minutes, right? Charge up your water. You would move the body, go for a walk, do flame spiral breath or elemental invocations. And then you'd ask, what would it look like to create from abundance, not urgency? So, what would your day look like if you created from abundance, not urgency? That's a very big question to ask yourself as you start every day. If you can get yourself in that frame of mind, wow, that's living as if, right? But most of us are creating from urgency or from fear of lack, right? We're worried that if we don't get this thing published or we don't get, this content out, that we're not going to continue to grow. We're not going to continue to get in front of the audience that we need to get in front of, or we're not going to make sales. We're not going to have turnover, whatever, right? I'm a business owner, not just a content creator, right? I have membership groups and I write books and I have classes and mini classes and big education, lots of things. Lots of things. Just like many of you are very, very, very multifaceted and have many, many things yourself. And then there are some of us that are just absolutely brilliant in one specific thing and we just devour it. I can't do that. Where I sit on my spectrum is a little bit of a bump and a bump and a bump. I need many, many things. My kitchen table is not a kitchen table because I have a bar and I live alone. Like, not a bar in the sense like, but I have I have other spots I can sit. Just put it that way. I have a breakfast bar. There we go. I guess that'd be the best way to put it, or a counter with stools. So I can sit there as a single person and eat my dinner just fine. An island, thank you, that works too. An island with bar stools, I don't know, with chairs, with tall chairs. I can sit there and eat. So my kitchen table is set up with my watercolors. So at any moment when I want to watercolor, they're right there waiting for me. That's how I live. The rest of my house is clean, but that kitchen table, nope. That's okay. It's okay for me. And that's the thing, you have to live honoring yourself, right? But that opens me up to more creativity, right? And a lot of my creativity I expend in doing content creation. I also own a nonprofit, and so doing content for that, creating, but I create cute, look at this pamphlet, right? Look how cute it is. Ooh, look, you could go to that. I could hold that up and you'd be able to go to the website. I bet that would work. That's cool. Anyway, I got really nice paper, like thick paper, 28-pound paper, Carol. 28-pound. It feels so good. As someone who, does art and, has sketch pads and watercolor paper and all kinds of different, craft supplies. When you feel a really good quality paper, it has a really nice. So then the other thing that I did was I did this poster that talks about why we are a nonprofit, because you can be a charity and we do want to get to charitable status at some point, but we just need some, I need to get all the governance documents in place. That's something that I handle. We need to get the volunteer pool in place. Like we need to get things going and get like a really good foundation, and then apply for charitable status. So then we will become a recognized charity in Canada. So that's our goal, is to become a recognized charity in Canada, and and maybe even at some point worldwide. But that's not the short-term goal, and I'm just looking at short-term right now. And the short-term goal is to just help Edmonton at this point. So anyway, Edmonton gets really cold, and I know that if we can really impact Edmonton in a really big way, that we can then branch out, and we will do that right away, right? Like if we have more than what we can supply to the community in Edmonton, we will immediately pick another location and ship the supplies there. And ship it to one of the community spaces that are there, so that they can distribute it to the community, or drive it up ourselves. Like I have no problem driving to Fort McMurray, or something like that, right? And that would be kind of the community I think I would want to target next, whatever homeless individuals are within that community, because it gets really cold up there, things like that. But anyway. So then the next thing I did was I made these like 1-page things about hugs, and I got these cool little stands, and because the paper's 28 pounds, it stands up with it. So I can start putting these up in stores that, like at, say, customer service at Walmart, as an example, right? And then people can just take a picture and they'll be able to donate. And I'm so excited. I did a lot of work yesterday, but like work on a passion project, like whether it's doing on Sha'Ryah or it's doing Hugs for Homeless. These are both things that are very much passion projects. And that's what you have to do. You have to find your passions and follow them. Just do it. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. So we got to the journaling our oversoul message, sipping the water, walking our body, asking that question. So if you're doing content creation, then you would post or do a live, or, stuff like that. Write a page in your book or whatever you need. You would infuse it from that field of what would it look like to create from abundance, not urgency. So that's when you step into creation mode for your company, right? How cool is that? That's a really great energy to start creating from. I bet you the stuff that you're going to come up with is going to be really aligned to you and your company, or whatever message that you're trying to share out, versus coming from a place of I need to create this because it needs to happen, because I need to make money, and which is anything that's in that very much need, comes from a space of lack, right? Okay, let's see what else I wrote down for our day. Oh, I also did something else that's really cool. And since there's people that have been on here for a bit, and I love you guys so much, I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to approve your comment. So I gave Cass a TV. And also me. It's so active. There's been chickadees and blue jays at it, and they're quite busy out there, and it's so cute. So I gave Cass TV. I gave him TV. I love it. So yeah, so the birds are landing there on the little feeder, and Cass is just sitting there at the window watching it. Watch my wobble board. That's so cute. And I get to sit there. Like right now, there's a chickadee at the feeder, and I'm just going to bring the bowl in every night. But Hey, Lori. So yeah, so let's see what we have to do. So let your voice be a river of remembrance, not a task to complete. Because how many of us are in that checking it off our list mode, right? I have to get a post out to TikTok, or I have to get a post out to YouTube. I have to post this many times per day. I have to do this many lives per week. I have to. We're just functioning from that space, right? Rather than coming from that space of, everything's great with my, like, I'm not in that lack space. I'm going to just unfold from that. What would I create from abundance, and allow that abundance to create the things, and that keeps you in that alignment, right? It's a beautiful space. Right? What is it going to provide you at the end? Right? I get to free up the space of 2 boxes every day, slowly reclaiming my peace. Right? That's a lot better than I have to. I have to. So midday, this is when we're going to do our temple works, right? This is your expression window. So this is where you do your recordings, right? So this is when you start to film things that you need to film. You start to anchor those offerings in. You've just expressed yourself from a beautiful, abundant space, and you're going into this beautiful recording now, right? So you start to work on the sacred architecture of whatever it is that you're building, whatever you're building. You're not working, right? You're reality weaving. If you think about it, you're creating your future with all the actions that you take from today, right? If I start today eating right and moving my body, and just being conscious about myself in that healthy way, I'm going to see changes tomorrow, right? And it's not something it's something you need to begin before you're going to see the change, right? It's not an overnight thing. So you're creating your reality by the things that you're doing. You're weaving it by the choices that you make. So if you're making that, you're weaving from a space of abundance, right? You're creating a reality that's abundant, right? I think that sounds pretty awesome. So infuse every action with these soul truths, right? Thank you, Carol. Thank you. I love you. So this one's more personal. This is my personal message. You're going to sit and think about what your soul truths are, what's really in alignment with you, right? And if you're looking, I can give you help with that. If you're looking for some guidance on who or what, why you're here, stuff like that. I do some pretty cool soul readings, soul alignment sessions, and they're very, very, very cool. So yeah, I do quite a few different things. You should check out my site or book a call with me at some point to see what I would offer for you. So the other thing is you would only eat once or twice, and you're only eating what nourishes the light body, right? So no more junk. You're going to speak a blessing over your food and let your meals be ritual, not distraction. And I know that, right? I know that when I know how you're supposed to eat, I know that you're supposed to eat with intention, that's supposed to be the task that you're focused on. And I still, on occasion, have that thought pop in your head, you should throw something on TV and watch something. Well, if I sit at the bars on the chairs at the island, I have to face away from the TV. So that's a good thing. But I still have that come up, even though I know that that's the way, because we've been so taught to be that way. How many of the TV programs did we watch growing up where people sat and ate in front of the TV? They wanted us to do that. They wanted us to camp out in front of the TV with all of our snacks, and they wanted us to get chubby. They wanted us to get fat. They wanted us to be very unhealthy. Right? But we're not supposed to eat as a distraction, and we're not supposed to eat distracted. We're not supposed to eat to distract ourselves. And we do all of those. We eat distracted by watching TV or scrolling on your phone and whatnot, right? Very disengaged from what we're actually doing. We eat. I lost my train of thought. I saw a bird. I think you get the point. All right, and then we have our evening ritual, okay? And the evening ritual is the return to stillness. So the return to stillness, you want to go outside if possible, touch the earth, gaze at the stars, and offer the day back to source. Take from me all that is not true. Keep only what was encoded in light. Then light a candle, anoint your forehead, whisper blessings to those you love, even if they are far away. That's your evening routine. How nice is that? Right? So then before bed, listen to some solfeggio tunes or like 528 or 963. You have to be careful because not all the people that say that it's a solfeggio are actually solfeggio, because they're stepped down to 440. No, what is it, Carol? Which one is it that we're recorded at now? It's been so long. I spend too much time listening to things like frequency music that I'm more on fourth. Yeah, it was 440. Yeah, so you're going to do that. Then you're going to place one hand on your heart and one on your sacral. Okay, so your lower belly. Okay, and you're going to speak. Oversoul, guide me through the temples of remembrance tonight. Let me retrieve what is mine and rest knowing that your light never dims, even in dreams. That's it. That's a day. How does that sound? Right? I know for some of us, we're going to jobs that we don't really care for. And so that mid portion, you could get up and do the morning thing, and you could come home and do the evening thing. You could keep pieces of it, many of the pieces of it, right? When you're at work, make sure that you're eating with intention, right? You're not distracted and stuff like that, right? I have a paradise here. Like, I call it a sanctuary, and I tell all the animals that it's a sanctuary because it is, right? There's no hunting. It's posted. No, like it's posted. And I remind them all the time that it's a sanctuary, and I feed the birds, and I have so many birds that it's quite lovely. I see foxes and coyote and deer and bunnies and squirrels and stray cat. There's lots and lots and lots on the property. It's very, very active. There's like our trails look like a speedway with all the tracks that are on it. I love engaging with this property and, going for my 2 walks a day and checking in on everything. Checking in on how many new footprints do we have? What kind of traffic did we have today? And there's some where it's like the little teeny little tracks and like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And oh my God, my windows everywhere that Cass's nose hits, I need to wash them because like there was a fox out there this morning, and Cass is like, every time there's something out there, he like pushes his nose up against the window so hard, and he's like growling and barking, and he's just like, so I have all these dirty nose prints all over the windows from him getting upset because there's a fox outside or a coyote or a deer. It's quite funny. But he likes the bird vision. The bird television seems to be going okay. It doesn't affect him if he's sleeping. So it's good. It's good. So I think that is a nice way to wake up and enjoy your day and move through it in a really good way. Oh my God, the cats must love that. They must love that. Oh my God, Carol, I'm laughing harder on the inside than I'm showing on the outside. I tell you that, because I can picture your cats. Poor birds. I wonder how much they can see of the cats on the inside, and they're like, they're behind glass, right? Right? Like they can't get out, right? Poor little guys. We're safe, right, Carl? We're safe, right? I wonder if that birds are skittish, right? Like they anywhere around your house, they're skittish. And so that's just their nature too, which is fine. They need to stay wary of people. They should be wary of people. We should all be wary of people, right? To be fair. I think so. So yeah, what are you guys up to? I have other things to share. Just trying to remember where I wrote it down, because this was yesterday. I was talking about Libra and the new moon, but we weren't talking about that now. Today the moon is in Scorpio, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about, and I had some notes written down about Scorpio. True Scorpio. So I personally like to seek out the truth, as I was saying. So I work with the astrological system to some degree called True Sidereal. Now, what True Sidereal is it bases your astrological placements on the fact that there's more than just it's easier to talk about the current astrology and then move from there. So I'm going to wind it back. So when we're talking about current astrology, we're talking about what is known as tropical. It's known as seasonal. It's also known as more of a personality based. But anyway, it is based off of the the concept that the stars have not moved into, like, nothing's changed in 2000 years. They just froze it and left it the same, but everything is slowly moving. Like, we are slowly moving. And so anyway, what true sidereal does is it considers all of the movements that are happening, and it says, well, what does the sky say? what is this? Now I have the birds. No, ADHD is fun sometimes. So anyway, I'm like, music and stuff just came into my head, Carol. I don't know if music came into your head too, but possibly. So based on that, I feel that I would rather just look at the sky and say the moon is in Scorpio and that's where it is. Whereas if you look at tropical astrology, they will say things like the recent new moon that happened, they said was a new moon in Scorpio, but the moon is just now in Scorpio. Yesterday it was in Libra. So it's not actually a new moon in Scorpio. It's a new moon in Libra. So anyway, and the sun is said to be in Scorpio, and the sun isn't in Scorpio. The sun's actually in Libra. And that's why it's a new moon in Libra, because the sun and the moon are in the same sign. And the day that happened was yesterday. So that's why I prefer to base my astrology on the truth. And I think about all the ways that we're being manipulated and lied to. And, there's so many distortions and stuff like that, that I really feel that this is one of our ways to do what is truly aligned, right? Why would we be celebrating a new moon in Scorpio when it's actually in Libra? What does that do to those of us that believe in doing new moon rituals or whatever? If you're somebody that does those types of things, then if you're doing it under the wrong sign, then what's happening with your energy? Well, that energy then becomes Lucian energy, and that's what gets harnessed, right? So we don't want to be doing that. We want to be aligning with the truth, right? And restore the truth. We also want to be looking at what the true, like why to use the astrology the way that we should use it, for the purpose that it's meant for. And it's meant to give you some really good insight into why you're here, what your path is, what you bring with you in this incarnation, and things like that. So it's a much deeper perspective on it. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk about, I know that's what I was going to talk about with Scorpio. So just give me a second while I look for my document on Scorpio, which might take me just getting... sometimes you just have fun and you have many documents. It's true. I have lots of documents. So then I get to remember where I put my stuff. And I should have done that before I started. I should have, but I didn't. And here we are. Sorry, someone's sending one of those invites and I'm just declining for 10 minutes. All right, where are you from? There's 3 of you here. Where are you from? Where are all 3 of you from? I know where one of you is from. All right, so we have, let me see, where is it? No, that's tomorrow. I found tomorrow's. I found the information for tomorrow, because tomorrow the moon is in Ophiuchus. So I'm super excited about that. Oh, this is just ridiculous. I thought I have so many documents open. So that's why I just keep going from one document to the other, wondering what did I call it. This one's Libra. That was yesterday. I can find yesterday and I can find interesting. Oh, found it. Found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. So we can talk about the themes of today based on the fact that we have a moon in Scorpio, right? So that's a very big difference from the energy that we had yesterday and the new moon in Libra, because Libra is about balance and harmony and beauty and, many things. So today with the moon in Scorpio, that energy transitions. So there's a theme of the day, and the theme of the day, you should look at where in your chart we have to talk after this, maybe. So the moon in true sidereal Scorpio always brings depth to the surface. Right? It always brings depth to the surface. And today, there's been this experience of emotions, right? Like there's memories or old patterns arising and stuff like that, like in talking to friends and stuff. And just seeing stuff online, like there's an energy of today. So that's not a setback. That's an opportunity for purification before you level up, right? So you have to look at what is coming up and just not engage with it the way that you used to engage with it. That's all it is an opportunity for you to reflect and say, yeah, this isn't aligned with me anymore. And so I'm not going to pick that up and carry it with me, or I'm not going to react in the same way, or I'm going to choose that. Wait a second, right? Like if, I used to eat emotionally for sure. So if I'm eating cookie after cookie after cookie after cookie, right, I have to at some point see the pattern that I've created where I am overindulging in foods that are not good for me. I'm not paying attention to the cues of my body. I know that the reason why I'm eating has nothing to do with fueling myself or, giving myself nutrition in any in any real good way. So if I can't see the pattern there, and when I go to pick up a cookie, decide I'm just not going to do that anymore, right? That's why those things come up. So when you get that moment, and for me it would be a moment, whether it would be going to get, say, a new outfit because you have something that you're going to, and when you go in to get the outfit, you are wearing a bigger size than you thought, right? So then that could be the trigger. That could be the trigger that makes you, and then you start eating a bit more, and the cycle continues, right? That could be your cue. That's your opportunity to go, wait a second, we're not doing that. We're not deprecating ourselves. We're not going to go continue that pattern. We're the ones that are in control. What choices you make today create your tomorrow. So make choices. So Scorpio doesn't expose these pains to punish you. Scorpio just brings up what still hurts so that you can rise to the next level without carrying this into the next timeline. So when you go through major transitions, like a move, a relationship, shift, so like the end of a relationship, a spiritual awakening, a new chapter, your shadow gets louder because your light is getting brighter, right? The more that you align with your truth and stand firmly in your truth, awakened to the truth of everything that's around you, the brighter that you shine. So the more that you shine, the more that you're attracting those things for you to push, like to just be done with them, to realize that that's not you, that's not aligned with you, it's not your future, it's not who you are. You are not, like it doesn't even phase you. And then those things drop away. And I've had those experiences before where, I've went through financial hardship, which has led me to now have a nonprofit, Hubs for Homeless, right? So that led to a good thing. But I've had these financial struggles. So even though I'm okay right now, I had a moment where, when you go in your account and you're like, whoa, my savings are lower than I thought that they were. Like, okay. And you get that little bubble of fear. That bubble of fear is an opportunity for you to address that and transition through it. And that's how we transform our pain. So you open it up and you look at it and you understand, well, I understand exactly where it comes from and why it's there. And I also understand that this is not then, this is now. And things are different now. I'm different now. And, so you do what you do to transform that particular energy that comes up. So that's what Scorpio is bringing it up for you. It's bringing up for you to move beyond, to show that you have overcome that particular pattern, that you're no longer buying into what is being dangled in front of you, right? When somebody, like say somebody used to be really, a rage driver, and you've gotten really good at not responding to anything, and you're getting close to that level up, they're just going to throw a whole bunch of cars your way, right? And they're going to see if they can make you pop. But every one of those is an opportunity for you to respond in the way that you should, as opposed to under your old programming, right? That's what they're giving you. And when you stop responding to it, then it goes away, because you're no longer in alignment with that. It's no longer within you anymore. You've addressed it. So it's pretty big. It's not resistance, it's clearing. It's your soul saying, let's not drag the old into the new. So we're going to show this to you. These are some patterns, or these are some pain points that you have, so you can address them. So when you're going to be okay. Hi, Alan. How are you, love? So how does that feel? I need a sip of tea. Otherwise, I'm going to start coughing because my throat's dry. Well, that's not going to warm it up because I forgot to turn it on. I'm doing fantastic, Alan. I really am. I love the place that I live in. This beautiful home opened up at the right time, and like how when things are aligned, it's just beautiful. And that's what happened here. And so I love my house, and I love the property, and I love my nonprofit, and I love my life. And I hope that you love your life too. So tea is, it is cool right now. I would like it if it was tea is hot, or at least tea is really warm. That's what I would like. All right, so emotional honesty as sovereignty, right? You cannot rise without meeting what still hurts. That is not weakness, that is sovereignty, okay? The moment you stop pretending you're fine is the moment you reconnect to your true power, right? You have to look at it. You have to pull it to the light. Why is it there? When did it get put there? Right? The moment you stop pretending that you're fine is the moment you reconnect to your true power. Hi, Joe. Love to you, friend. You should be following me on YouTube, because I think there's some stuff that I was sharing at the beginning of this about how you should move through your day that might be lovely for you as a content creator. It might really, there's a couple of questions anyway, or a couple of statements in the beginning part that I think that would really align for you, Joe. So check it out if you do follow me on my other channels. If not, you can always go to on Sha'Ryah, and like my website's linked in my bio. You can always go there, and all my social links are there. That's what I was trying to say. And there's also a free membership group. All right, so you cannot rise without meeting what still hurts. And we have that beautiful line of the moment you stop pretending that you're fine is the moment you reconnect to your true power. And it's true. We lie to ourselves so much. So much. Right? Anyone bold enough to say how they have been lying to themselves recently? Are we brave today? Oh, I love you, friend. So Scorpio teaches us to hold complexity, the ache and the breakthrough, right? The fear and the fire, the shadow and the initiation. Scorpio is deep and profound, right? In tropical or seasonal astrology, they paint Scorpio as the badass, right? Scorpio is the shadowy, dark, mysterious, capable of figuring out liars and or ferreting out the truth, right? They paint Scorpio in a specific way, right? So it's interesting when you start to uncover the divine way that Scorpio should be referenced, which is pretty cool. So on Monday, I did a mini class called Oversoul Anchoring and Tree of Light Activation. So it's a mini class. And along with that mini class, there is a PDF that goes along with it. But I will get to that part in a moment. But that's why I taught it, like this concept here. Like this is exactly why I taught the Oversoul Anchoring class. When the shadow rises, your oversoul becomes the steady guidance. Right? When something's going on, if you're connected to your oversoul and you're communing with your oversoul, then you're going to have that direction leading you. Who's going to lead you better than you? Right? So the clarity and the voice, like it doesn't waver, right? Your oversoul is that steady guidance it doesn't waver. It's very clear. Right? No one can tell me, like, I know my truth. I know what I'm here to do. I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not failing in any capacity. I am worthy, deserving. I don't have any of those things in my mind or in my body anymore. Then that's because there's embodiment, right? You start to connect and you start to embody it. And I think, last season we were doing healing. We were doing a lot of healing and a lot of staring at our trauma and working on shadow and, getting to the point where, our ego wasn't leading the show, right? Because your ego prevents you from healing. It really does. It gets in there and convinces you that you're fine. You're fine. It was them. It wasn't you. Right? There's mirrors everywhere. Right? If it's constantly somebody else's fault, how egoic is that? Right? So the perpetual victim is egoic. And it's not that it doesn't come from a true space. And trust me, I played the victim for quite a few years myself. I had an enormous amount of trauma. And, I understand how challenging it is to look in the mirror and to start working through it. It's that first step that's always the hardest. And it's because we see this mountain and we believe that in starting, we're going to have to deal with everything all at once. And we don't. You don't open the whole thing all at once. And if you go to a therapist and the therapist opens things too quickly without giving you resources, that's how many of us end up more traumatized, right? We go to therapists and the only thing that they're doing is really just allowing us to vent. Venting isn't doing a lot. You feel better for a short bit, but if you're not really pulling it out and looking at it and understanding why it's there, allowing yourself to resolve the emotions that are tied up with it and moving beyond that, or you're not challenging the way that you view the world or your place in the world, then, and you don't have coping skills, or you're not learning how to regulate your emotions, which is something that many of us with trauma lack. Right? It was the one thing that our parents didn't get either. So they can't teach you what they didn't know. And now we're all about becoming emotionally aware. And so it's much more important. Sorry, I have to do a puzzle. Forgot about these puzzles. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I forgot to put it back on comments. I'm so sorry. I'm like, I have no idea if anyone said anything on YouTube, because I forgot to, when I went to check on the banner and I wanted to put up the one that says like and subscribe, so that if someone catches it on YouTube, they might do so. You can comment, you can do those interactions. Every interaction helps, right? And so if you're enjoying what I'm talking about, or you're getting anything from what I'm talking about, then just give me a like, so that helps me out, right? That's like a little bit of an exchange, I guess. So the oversoul, now we're at the embodiment phase. Now we're moving through, we've for those of us who have learned and done the healing part up until that point, we are now moving into that space of clarity, of embodiment. We're moving from that space into the space of embodiment. I'll talk about that at some point, about the duality and darkness and light, because duality was never meant to be evil versus good, I guess, right? Like, but anyway, we'll get into those discussions. So if you're feeling emotional, unsettled, or in between, this is the perfect moment to receive the replay of the Oversoul Anchoring and Tree of Light class. It gives you the clarity your mind cannot generate on its own. It takes you through a meditative process as well. It's very educational. So yeah, it's very cool. So if you're thinking, if you're in the thick of this right now, if you're in the thick of this right now, you can just ask me for the replay. And if what is rising feels personal, tender, or heavy, you can always connect with me for soul sessions. I do one-to-one sessions. If you're interested in finding out more about yourself, or you want to just have a short conversation with me, I do offer a free call with all of that as well. Yeah, I love the birds. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. So this is what Scorpio is all about. It's a day to be honest. It's a day to be real. It's a day not to hide how you feel, right? It's a day to meet yourself fully. So in the beginning, I felt like today was a little bit of a meh day. Like I wasn't like in a super like upbeat mood. That changed. I moved through it. It was just for a little bit. I was in there and I was just like kind of meh. I think it was before I went for a walk too. And then once I went for the walk and came back, or Could have been even a little bit later on, but I got to the point where I started to feel okay. And then now I feel fantastic, right? But it's just meeting yourself, just being real, right? It's okay that it was it's not meant to be ha 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 all the time, right? That would be like insane. Right? It would be. You'd want to stop. Have you ever, you must have at least once in your life had one of those sessions where you're laughing and laughing and laughing and until your stomach hurts. You must have had one of those experiences. Because yeah, you can't do that. You wouldn't want to do that all the time. You wouldn't want to be laughing like that all the time. It'd be uncomfortable. It'd also be like, how would you live? How would you have a life laughing like that? So you need to have experiences. You need to experience different moments, and they're not all going to be the exact same emotion. You're not going to always be happy. Sometimes you're just going to be. You're not going to be sad. You're not going to be mad. You're not going to be joyous. You're not going to be anything. It's just meh. And that's okay. It's perfectly okay. So, what you should learn is how to be good no matter what you're experiencing, no matter what you're feeling, right? To be good no matter what. Because then no matter what you're experiencing, you will be good. So the shadows are not here to stop you. They are here to release you. Okay? They're here to release you. I love you guys. It is. It's the truth rises. Shadows surface. Be honest with yourself. Meet those shadows. Heal them. That's how you move beyond them. And that's it. That's it. I love you. Let's see. Should we check in on the energy? Maybe we'll use the animal tarot since I've been seeing so many animals lately. I mean, I'm just going to read them the way that I'm going to read them. But nonetheless. So I don't have a table in front of me. Ooh, King of Cups. That is a lot of emotional maturity. Is that not what we were just talking about? That is emotional fulfillment. That is beautiful energy. That's where we all want to get to emotionally, right? We want to get to the top, to that king spot. So this is longevity. This is, long-term emotional satisfaction. This isn't just a flash, because it's a royalty, right? When we get up into the royal suit, those are long-term things as opposed to the first 10 the first 10 number cards. What else do we have? We've got emotional fulfillment. Ooh. Okay, but we have to be careful that we're not being too nostalgic or that we're not holding on to things from the past. There is that warning that's coming up, right? The Six of Cups is about, nostalgia. It's about, it's okay to look at the journey and see how far you've come when you're looking at the journey from that space. But if you're dwelling on the past and you're especially spending a lot of time in spaces that make you feel bad about yourself or that are shameful, that are contributing to anxiety, things like that, then you're not doing yourself any good. If you're going to go into those spaces with the intention of transmuting the energy from that into something else. Go in with the intention of looking at it and understanding why it's there and moving beyond it. Don't just wallow in it, right? We're meant to experience the feelings. We're not meant to build a home and live there, right? They're supposed to be temporary, not permanent experiences. So, oh no! Oh my goodness. We have got some serious cards on the floor. You're gonna have to give me a minute. These cards are just different than the cards I was shuffling yesterday. We're not reading these cards. I consider these to be definitely just an oopsie. I think I should almost read the two that didn't hit the floor. They would be the better ones. But anyway, we're just going to put them all back together. Although I do think the one card should come out because he peeked at me again, which is just interesting. All right, what else do we have? See? There, that's better. That's more like it. All right. All right, so even though emotionally we're feeling really good, there's this little part about looking at the past, and maybe these are things that we're moving beyond, or maybe these are things that are coming up right now, and with them coming up, this is your opportunity to look at these shadows and move beyond them. So this one could be that little bit of things aren't happening fast enough, or you're looking at what other people have instead of what you have. And because you're looking at what other people have, you don't think that you have enough. There's some comparison going on. And we do that. We were talking earlier in the concept of being like a content creator or having a company. But we do that where we're looking at other people who we consider to be in the same content sphere as we are. And we're looking at them and they're like, well, why do they have this many followers? And why do they, why do they have, so we can start getting into that comparison, and we don't want to be doing that. We want to really be, this is a card that's reminding us to be grateful that we have 3 full cups when there may be one that fell over, but we've got 3 full cups. So we should be looking at that, not the one that fell over. So yeah, that can be another part of that message, right? Don't look at what has been lost, look at what you have gained. Me too. All right, what else do we have for the collective? So we've got, did I put, I know. Yeah. All right. I had a thought. I thought it. No. Anyway. I thought I saw another card. But I don't see it now. So if it's meant to be, it'll come back. That is always good. All right, that might be it, guys. Although wait. All right, we got the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands, this is a new passion. This is a new spark. So when we're clearing things out, right, when we're looking at that, we start to have that gratitude practice. If we start our day asking ourselves that question of what am I going to create what would I create from a space of abundance rather than a space of urgency? So what can I create from a space of abundance? We start our days with that, right? There's going to be some passions that are going to be sparked. This is a new passion. And this could be the start of something new, or this just could be your passion reaffirming for something that you've been working on, right? So very nice. The Ace of Wands also holds the power of the whole suit. So it really is a potential card. There's a lot of potential in the air of what you're following that you are passionate about. We got the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is new emotional energy. So I think as we're addressing these things that are coming up, like Scorpio maybe bringing up that, making sure that you're focused on being grateful, making sure that, you're not spending too much time in the past, that the time that you're spending reviewing, in that space is for the purpose of seeing how far you've come, the purpose of, maybe enjoying fond memories, or the purpose of going back into memories that weren't fond with the intention of transmuting the energy, like the pain that was there within those messages. Right? Nope. Turn back over. Hello, Kit Kat. I'm in Canada too. Night Quantum. Alrighty. Anything else? Do you have anything else for messages for everybody? And this is just collective stuff. So anything that comes up here is just a message that somebody maybe needs to hear. Ooh, caught them. 6 of Pentacles. So I think there's an element of, you know, what I was saying earlier when I said I had that little bit of fear coming up because, you know, it's like when you go grocery shopping and you buy something and you're not anticipating the bill to be that high, and you get that little bit of a, oh, I wasn't expecting that, and you know, you're like, well, I have the money, it's okay, and you just pay and you move on. But you, when you address that, it's just that little feeling of that's a moment that's showing you that there's some energy that's in you that still involves lack. So it's an opportunity for you to look at that. Why did you get that feeling? Why did you get that flutter? Assess it, transmute it, move on. Know that this is not then, and you are not the person you were then, and you know, or whatever you do, or whatever situation it is, to move beyond that. So the Six of Pentacles, sixes can be a bit more of a struggle type of card. It can be, and maybe like I said, this may be the card that's bringing up that little feeling of lack in some of us. And I think that, you know, there are some of us out there that are experiencing those elements. So it's just, and those, like I said, they're opportunities for you to stand strong in your power and to keep taking moving forward. That doesn't mean that you're, you know, doing something all the time. Like this isn't, I do not promote hustle. I promote aligned movement. So you align with yourself, you align with your passion, you take steps towards that passion every day. And those aligned actions and embodying your truth, that's what brings you a completely aligned life, right? Because everything's a mirror. Hi, Swan's Arm. How are you, love? All right. Do we have anything else? I've been doing so much. I took a job for a while. No, I'm kidding. But I did, in a way. I moved provinces. I started a nonprofit. I've done a lot. I think I'm at my 17th book published. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Pentacles in the shadow position too. So the Queen is normally representative of, you know, like a self-made person, you know, like she's the mom that, you know, also financially takes care of things, right? Like this queen, she provides for herself, right? That's the queen, that's the level that the queen's at. She's very confident. She has a very grounded, healed energy. So the energy is maybe ungrounded, right? There's, yay. I love that. It's like reach level 8 in the fan club. I don't know what seller there. Does this do something? How to check this out? We're gonna try this. Hey, look at that. Look at that. That's cool. I'm gonna put that over there though. I didn't know what that was. It was like squirrel, literally. Squirrel. Okay, back to possibly where I was at. So we're looking at the Queen of Pentacles in the shadow. So there could be a lack of confidence, and maybe that's why that new beginning, you know, maybe that's what was preventing kind of, or slowing up that new beginning. It might have been stopping you from following your passions because maybe you feel like not confident to do that. Or maybe there's, you know, everything's great emotionally, but financially it's not. And, you know, this is an opportunity to just be real with that, right? And then make plans, right? Make decisions and yeah. And we have Temperance. So Temperance is the card that represents Sagittarius as major arcana. Temperance is all about balance, right? It's that real balance between the energies and moderation, right? And sometimes that's one of the issues, right? It's about not needing everything all at once, right? Sometimes we, say we're spending money because of dopamine, or we're spending money because there's some emotional thing that we're feeding with it, and we need to just realize that we can still be really, really moderate, or we need to temper those particular things. That temperance, right? It's balance. Really good balance too. All right. Shall I give everybody a card that wants a card? I mean, if I box them, that just makes it a pain. All right, we're good. Hi, Roxanne. Wheezy Wolf. All righty, what do we got, Spirit? What do we got for Wheezy Wolf? Can I get a good message? All right, we've got the Three of Wands. Now, Wands is all about action. And the Three of Wands in this case is represented by the flying squirrel, which is, a very industrious animal, a very flexible animal, right? And so threes have that. There's a lot of things within life that have that Trinity energy, and this could be a representation of having your mind, body, and spirit vested in the same thing, like having passion in all areas of your expression for something. The wands are taking action, right? So there's an importance to take action on something at this time. And it could be, like it's waiting to take flight, right? It's that energy of it's almost time. But what the squirrels asks is that you just make sure that you're truly prepared. I was talking about it yesterday about how you can, like when you're launching a project, you have to treat it like a baby, right? And you have to hold on to it and nurture it and, take time. And how mothers, when they are pregnant, mothers oftentimes don't disclose that they're pregnant until they're past the first trimester. And that's, they keep it secret. And that's how we're meant to be with our projects. We're meant to keep it secret, and nurture it and cradle it. And then when it's ready, announce it to the world, right? When the mother is finally, willing to share that information with other people, she tends to share it with family and friends and like her close-knit circle. And then it grows and gets shared with everybody. But the baby itself really doesn't get shared until it's born into the world. And there's that concept of, releasing at the right time. So there's this element of waiting for the right moment. It's like the waves are coming in and they're building, and the one that you're going to surf is on its way. It's coming, but you just need to prepare a little bit more. And you might be feeling right now like that's not happening, or it's not coming, or maybe your passion for something is kind of waning. So that's something for you to look at. Okay. Hello, lovies. How are you? How are you, sweetheart? All right. After Wheezy, I think it was, you're welcome. You're welcome. Lots of love to you. Roxanne. All right. Spirit, can I get a good message for Roxanne, please? Just Roxanne isn't here right now. Mm-hmm. Hi, Jojo. How are you? Nice. I'm so happy you had a good day. Me too. Whoa. Okay. All right, we got the Justice card, and the Justice is shown by this wise owl. And the Justice card also represents that lovely Libra energy. We just passed the Libra new moon too. And the Libra new moon could be bringing up relationship stuff and things like that. But the energy of the Justice card is about balance, it's about harmony, it's about legal matters, right? If you are tied up in legal matters, it could be that it's in your favor, right? That the win would be in your favor. This is for Roxanne. So the energy, like it could be emotional retribution, right? Like that's another way that you could capture this card. So yeah, so there's definitely that energy for you, Roxanne, is that there could be something, if, like I said, if it's legal thing, it could be that justice is coming in your way, like you're going to win a lawsuit or something like that. But this does definitely speak about that balance and harmony. And I find it interesting it coming up right after the new moon in Libra, which, like I said, did have the potential to be bringing up some karmic feelings, karmic relationship issues. There we go. Some stuff. You're welcome, Roxanne. Love you. Did you want a card too? You can ask up there as well. Hi. Right. Okay, Carol. Sorry. I'm trying to, there's always that point in time when it's like, is now when I shut the curtain? And it all depends on where I stand on the board. It could be now, could be. But I love the feeling of the sun, so I like, at the same time, don't want to. Half the deck yeeted itself. That's crazy, Sha'Ryah. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is one of the fastest moving energies. And when we're looking at the sword energy has to do with mental. Apparently you can't say right with question marks. That's like... that's funny. So I think Classy Cat should stay because we have Carol Cat, and then we have Classy Cat and Carol Cat. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. I saw a cat and I thought of Carol, and yeah, that was it. Punted it. Knight of Swords. There we go. So the Knight of Swords, yep, this is how my brain works. Knight of Swords is a very fast moving knight, and swords represents mental energy. So when this is very fast moving mental energy, you do have to be careful that you're not making decisions too quickly, right? Do keep that in mind, or that you're not cutting with your words, because swords always carry that sharp edge to them, right? So you have to be careful with your words, because you may, with the way that your mind is moving, speak very quickly and not guard or say something properly and end up wounding with what you say. So that can be the energy that comes up with the Knight of Swords. So yeah. Who else wants a card? Yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to have a sip of tea because I think my tea's getting warm. Oh yeah. Now's at the time I have to turn my heater down on my cup because it's too hot now. Definitely Sha'Ryah. But I don't understand why they muted that. That just is so silly. Yeah, I just checked. I am on the comments. Okay, just making sure. All right. No, I want the comment. There we go. I try to click on it and then it's like her name. And I'm like, I don't want the name. I want the comment so I can say the comment's okay, because I don't understand why "I will take one, please" is not allowed. I think somebody else said it just like that. Yay! You just freed yourself. You just freed yourself of 2 boxes. How fantastic. There is a card backwards. There we go. There's the 10 of Pentacles. Remember earlier I said I saw the 10 of Pentacles? I did. It was upside down in the deck. I found it. All right. Sha'Ryah. Hi, Spirit. Can I get a good message for Sha'Ryah, please? Alrighty. We have the 5 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Pentacles can be talking about health or financial woes, just not being in a really great space with something within that sector. And it could be just ignoring something because it came up in the shadow. So not paying attention to something in that space. Is that ringing any bells? Maybe not being completely honest with yourself about some health things or other things. Right. Well, make sure that in the meantime, while you're waiting for your surgery, that you're doing all the things that you can do on your end, right? So diet's going to be a huge, huge thing in managing your gallbladder from now until then, right? But yeah, it's just being honest with ourselves, right? That's what Scorpio is going to ask you to do. It's going to ask you to be honest with yourself. And so yeah, good. Anybody else for a card? I'm not on here for much longer because it's like 2:30. I think I started at 1. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I did. I started at 1. Because that would have been 3 o'clock. That's why I got confused for a second there, because that's different. Oh, why? Did I actually box them? I think I did, guys. It did. We had a good live. We talked about a lot of different things. So yeah, that Oversoul anchoring course will be on the website tonight, available for purchase. You'll get the recording of the session that I did. You'll get the guide that goes along with it. And it's a beautiful session. Sha'Ryah was there. Okay, Spirit, can I get a message for Abby, please? Can I get a good message for Abby? Alrighty, we have I love it. We have the beautiful, that's the one thing we missed out on this time, and I apologize for that. And that was because if I'm going to have the sessions at that time, I have to walk Cass beforehand so that until it's lighter. But while it's winter time, I have to take him out walking, in the early afternoon, because I don't want to have him out there when it's dark or when it's at dusk even. Because there's a lot moving out there, and it's not about necessarily anything that's gonna hurt us. I mean, a coyote's gonna take off. A pack of coyotes, on the other hand, with a dog, I don't know how that. I just don't want him to even get hurt, right? Like, that's the other thing. It's not about it being a serious threat, but I still just don't want him to get hurt at all. Nor do I. We had a time, we had an experience a while ago where we came upon a moose when we were out. And oh my goodness, that was a bit sketchy. Um, I mean, we ended up being fine, but there was a moment where it was like, oh my God, please, 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 don't let him come at us. Don't let him come at us, because he was just right there in the field when we came up the hill and just standing there. And it was like, oh, go. So I grabbed Cass and pulled him close, and then I cut across the field and I pushed the fence down, climbed across it so I could get Cass across. Like I had to flatten the fence for Cass to get across because it was, one of those box ones or whatever. And once I got on the other side, I started to relax a little bit. But I was like, holy crap, we were in the same little space as a moose. I'm like, that's terrifying. So yeah, so when I'm out at night, or dusk is the time of big movement. I haven't seen any moose, but I do think I saw their tracks at the backside of the property the one day, but I haven't seen a moose. But I have seen coyotes, many coyotes, and many deer, and bunnies and birds and stuff. But all right, Abby got the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is very passionate energy. The Page of Cups is new romance. The Knight of Cups can be foolish romance. It can be that be real romantic, but loves love for the sake of love, not necessarily for the right reasons. So that's the energy that's coming up with this. So there could be somebody in her midst that maybe is proclaiming love, who's maybe more romantic, like just more, yes. Yes, fear is only exactly. So I don't have fear of being like I don't really have fear in that sense per se, but I am also smart enough to realize that at dusk, when there's a lot of movement out there with the animals, that I shouldn't be out there interfering in that movement, because they will have to go out of their way to avoid me and Cass in the bush. And that's just a fact. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you just keep him back there. Keep him there. It's where he's meant to be. It's where he's meant to be. Okay, guys, I've been on for an hour and a half. I'm gonna pop off here. I love you guys. I'll be on tomorrow. Not sure what time. I might do a morning live tomorrow, as opposed to an afternoon live. I just wanted to try this and see how it went. And it went well, and maybe we'll alternate for a little bit. But yeah. All right. I love you guys. Have a beautiful afternoon, and thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to go watch birdies because I can watch them all over the place. Backyard, front yard. I'm going to feed them after I take Cass for his walk. I had over 20 on me one day. I just love my place. I love my place. Mwah. I love you guys. I love you guys. Go check out on Sha'Ryah. Join the Temple of Light. It's a free group, so you just get extra stuff from me. That's just going to guide you on your path, right? It's just going to help you. I love you guys. All right. Have a great night. Bye. Bye. I'm trying to wait. I'm looking for the glare is so bad. And I think I ended it. I'm going to click it again.